The audacity, the sheer nerve. Prince Harry has taken entitlement to breathtaking new heights. Word on the street is that the Duke of Sussex privately slipped in a little request to the UK government. And not just a small favor, oh no. He asked for a staggering £21 million loan to cover his personal security for the upcoming Invictus Games in Britain. Can you imagine? £21 million from taxpayers. For a man who abandoned his royal duties and now lounges in his California mansion funded by Netflix and book deals. But here's the kicker. The government didn't even hesitate. The answer was swift, sharp, and cutting. Number. Westminster officials didn't just reject it, they shredded it. They labeled Harry's proposal inappropriate, excessive, and completely tone-deaf. Think about it. A non-working royal living overseas with millions already in his pocket, marching up and asking the struggling British taxpayer for a cool £21 million to keep himself safe. The timing couldn't be worse, and the optics, disastrous.
A British judge has ruled against Prince Harry and his appeal to reinstate security for himself and his family during visits to the UK. In 2020, the government stripped automatic and tax.
For Harry, who thought he could bypass Parliament and pull some strings quietly, this wasn't just rejection. This was public humiliation, a cold, harsh reminder that every single royal bridge he once had has now been burned to ash. According to insiders, both the Home Office and the Treasury dismissed his request outright. They didn't even consider it. They branded it unreasonable, excessive, and reminded Harry, point blank, that he has absolutely no grounds to demand state-funded protection. This wasn't just a no, it was a statement. Loud, clear, and humiliating.
86-year-old monarch who is battling cancer has to live. Take a listen to a little bit of what he told the BBC earlier.
I would love reconciliation with my family.
And here's where it stings even more. Harry didn't want this out in the open. Insiders claim he tried to slip the request through quietly, bypassing Parliament entirely. Yes, that's right. He wanted this huge taxpayer-funded loan without public scrutiny, without lawmakers debating it, without anyone knowing. But oh, how spectacularly it backfired. What he wanted to keep hidden has now exploded in the public eye, and the fallout is brutal.
My father has. He won't speak to me because of this security stuff.
Now, the context here, of course, is
instead of protecting his image, Harry has only reinforced the image people already have, that he's still clinging to royal privilege while refusing royal responsibility. Westminster saw it as a sneaky backdoor deal and slammed the door right in his face. And honestly, can you blame them? This is a country in the middle of a cost of living crisis, where ordinary families are struggling to pay for food, heating, and mortgages. And here comes a multi-millionaire prince living in luxury in California, demanding £21 million for his personal safety. It wasn't just arrogance, it was an insult.
Lost this legal battle. He was trying to get his British police bodyguards back. And he's saying a couple of things. He believes his father, King Charles, could solve this problem.
The backlash has been fierce. Hashtags exploded across social media. Not a dime for Harry and Pay Your Own Way are trending everywhere. Polls show that ordinary citizens are united in their outrage. To the public, Harry is no longer that soldier prince or that charming working royal number. He's become nothing more than a tone-deaf celebrity demanding privileges he knowingly gave up. Instead of sympathy, he's now getting open ridicule.
Of security experts. But Harry is saying as long as he does not have his bodyguards, he does not feel comfortable bringing his wife Meghan nor their two children.
And the most devastating part, Harry isn't even broke. Far from it. He and Meghan have signed multi-million-dollar contracts with Netflix, Spotify, and Penguin Random House. His memoir Spare alone pulled in tens of millions. He's living a life of luxury in Montecito, dripping in wealth. So why then does he think taxpayers should fund his security to the tune of £21 million? The hypocrisy is staggering. To many, this demand wasn't just entitlement. It was the final nail in the coffin of his credibility. He doesn't look like a man protecting his family. He looks like a man exploiting his name.
News now, Prince Harry is reportedly going to offer an invite to the royal family for the 2027 Invictus Games, which could see a long-awaited reunion for the Duke of Sussex and his family. It's been reported that Prince Harry is keen to reconcile with King Charles and other royal relatives for the 7th instalment.
So let's pause here and look at the picture that's already emerging. Prince Harry asked for £21 million. The government slammed the door in his face. Officials called him tone-deaf. The public mocked him mercilessly, and the reality of his own immense wealth made his request look absurd. Entitlement at its peak. And yet, believe it or not, it gets even worse. Because in the next part, the gossip gets juicier. We're talking about Harry trying to leverage the monarchy itself, William's fury boiling over, the palace's icy cold response, and even the Invictus Games, Harry's proudest creation, now hanging by a thread because of his desperation. Here's the tea. You thought Harry's £21 million blunder was the peak of this saga? Think again. Because it wasn't just about the money. Oh no. Harry went one step further. He tried to tie his outrageous loan request to something even bigger, a family reunion with King Charles and Prince William. Yes, you heard that right. Sources say Harry essentially dangled the idea of a public royal reunion like it was some kind of bargaining chip. His attitude: give me the security loan and I'll show up with the family. Can you imagine? That's not diplomacy. That's transactional. And palace insiders were absolutely floored. Prince William in particular was livid. To him, it wasn't just insulting. It was manipulative. He saw Harry's maneuver as nothing short of blackmail, a cheap PR stunt designed to polish Harry's tarnished image while dragging the monarchy into his mess. William wasn't just irritated, he was furious. And honestly, who can blame him?
Do you see this playing out the way Harry potentially wants it to?
Well, my understanding is that palace sources feel the same way that I have felt over the last 20 hours since this 24 hours since this story broke, which is, gestures are
This stunt didn't bridge gaps, it widened them. It didn't mend wounds, it tore them open. King Charles and Prince William now reportedly see Harry's behavior as proof that he still expects royal perks without lifting a royal finger. The palace, which once might have staged a united front for the sake of appearances, has gone icy cold. The message is clear: no more handouts, no more staged reunions, and no more covering for Harry's mistakes. And let's talk collateral damage, shall we? Because Harry's little stunt didn't just hurt him, it put the Invictus Games at risk. Remember, Invictus was supposed to be his crowning achievement, his proud legacy, a celebration of veterans and resilience. But now, it's being dragged through the mud. Without government support for security, costs are soaring, and the whole event is teetering on the edge of reputational disaster. Sponsors are nervous. Veterans themselves are whispering concerns. Instead of headlines about triumph and recovery, the games are trending for all the wrong reasons. Harry's humiliation. What should have been his shining moment has been tainted by drama, scandal, and entitlement. A true PR catastrophe for the very cause he claims to champion. And Westminster isn't mincing words. Officials have made it bluntly clear: Harry chose independence. He stepped down. He left the UK. He made his choice, and choices have consequences. Independence means paying your own way. As one insider put it coldly, he made his choices. He can live with them. It's the harshest reminder of all. Harry no longer has the palace safety net. He can't come crawling back when things get inconvenient. Those days are over. What we're seeing now is the symbolic end of Prince Harry as a protected royal. To the government, to the palace, and to the public, he's not a prince in need. He's just a celebrity trying to cash in on his title. The indulgence is gone. The doors are closed. Parliament won't bend. The government won't fund him. The palace won't rescue him. And the people, they won't back him. The humiliation is complete. Think about it. This is the man who once lived in castles, who once commanded global admiration. And now, he's reduced to begging for loans and being laughed out of Westminster. His so-called freedom has left him with nothing but burned bridges, debts, and a legacy crumbling faster than he can patch it together. That £21 million request wasn't just a rejection, it was shredded. His brother, furious, his father, cold and distant, his government, mocking him, his people, disgusted, and even his beloved Invictus Games are stained by his desperation. The message couldn't be louder. Harry is no longer special. He is no longer shielded, no longer untouchable. He's just another man who wanted independence and now must pay the price. And that's where it gets downright brutal. Once upon a time, Harry was the golden boy of the royals, the soldier prince, the cheeky heartthrob with a cause. Now, he's begging for taxpayer money, and the response isn't sympathy, it's ridicule. The government didn't just call his request tone deaf, they exposed him for what he is, entitled. Parliament would never have signed off on his loan anyway. The public mocked it with hashtags like "not a dime for Harry," and even the palace, his own blood, has gone cold. For William, this wasn't just arrogance, it was betrayal. For Westminster, it was embarrassing. For the public, it was confirmation. Harry still believes he deserves privileges he surrendered long ago. So now the debate rages. Should Harry ever be allowed to request taxpayer-funded support again? Should the UK government and palace make it crystal clear? No exceptions, no loopholes, no second chances? Or do you think, despite everything, Harry still deserves some level of security, even as a non-working royal who lives thousands of miles away? That's the question on everyone's lips. And don't think the humiliation ends there, because oh honey, it gets messier. The scandals pile up, the ridicule grows louder, and every desperate move Harry and Meghan make only cements their reputation as infamous, not iconic. So let's not sugarcoat it. Harry's humiliation doesn't exist in a vacuum. Oh no, it's part of a long, messy chain of disasters that just keep piling up on him and Meghan. Every time you think they've hit rock bottom, they grab a shovel and dig deeper. We've already seen the loan debacle. Harry begging for £21 million, the government shredding his request, William fuming, and the palace turning to ice. But what about Meghan? Because trust me, she's not escaping this storm either. Meghan's Archetypes brand collapsed under crushing debt. Her supposed Hollywood takeover? A flop. Once marketed as the woman who would redefine royalty, Meghan is now being whispered about as nothing more than a PR disaster. Sponsors back away, opportunities dry up, and her name trends online for all the wrong reasons. And Harry? He's faring no better. Remember when he was booed and heckled at the Emmys? Yes, the man who once had crowds cheering now gets jeers. Meghan mocked on live television. Thank you, Sophie Turner, for that not-so-subtle shade. And then came the cherry on top. Harry slammed for nearly $800,000 in unpaid taxes. The scandals don't stop. And now add to that list the most humiliating blow of all. Harry, reduced to begging Westminster for a £21 million loan, only to be laughed out the door. This isn't the fame they dreamed of. This is the nightmare version. The kind where you don't wake up admired, you wake up memed. Think about it. They don't command respect anymore. They generate ridicule. They don't inspire admiration. They inspire hashtags, sarcastic ones. They don't build legacies. They burn credibility, brick by brick. And here's the cruel twist. Every scandal chips away at the little dignity they have left. Harry wanted independence. He fought for it. He screamed for it. But independence has turned into bills he can't pay and privileges he can't demand. Meghan wanted Hollywood royalty status, but Hollywood looks at her now and sees liability, not glamour. Together, they aren't being seen as leaders. They aren't innovators. They aren't even dignified ex-royals. They're a spectacle, a sideshow, a cautionary tale. And that's why this £21 million humiliation matters so much, because it's not just about one ridiculous request. It's about a pattern of arrogance, of entitlement, of desperation. And the saddest part, it's all playing out in public. Yes, they're still popular in one sense. Their names still trend, the media still covers them endlessly, but it's not the kind of popularity anyone wants. This isn't iconic, it's infamous. The kind of infamous you never recover from, the kind that cements your legacy not as a leader but as a joke. So let's talk legacy, because history isn't going to be kind here. When the world looks back on Harry and Meghan, it won't be about their fairy tale romance. It won't be about their escape to freedom. It won't even be about their battles with the palace. No, history will remember the scandals, the humiliations, the rejections. And right at the center of that timeline will be this £21 million debacle, the moment Harry's entitlement was exposed in the most brutal way possible. The man who once symbolized resilience, who once inspired millions, is now reduced to begging for protection money and being mocked globally. The woman who dreamed of being Hollywood royalty is now trending for collapses, mockery, and shade. Together, they are no longer a love story. They are a cautionary tale of what happens when privilege, pride, and poor choices collide. So here we are, at the end of this saga. Harry asked for £21 million. The government's answer? A resounding, humiliating number. Westminster branded him tone deaf. The palace turned cold. William fumed, the public mocked, and the Invictus Games, his proudest creation, are now tainted. The question now isn't just about security, it's about what Harry and Meghan really are. Are they leaders, fighters, modern royals paving a new path? Or are they just celebrities clinging to a title, desperate for attention, burning through what little goodwill they had left? The answer, it seems, is already written in the hashtags.